So, hey guys, welcome to the group. If you haven't already heard, a lot of you guys are on mute. Make sure you unmute if you're trying to talk. There's also, if this is your first meeting with us, there's also a hand icon over your name where you can kind of raise your hand, or you can always say something in chat too. I'll bring it up in chat. So the Zoom chat box over there will mention all your questions here. So again, thank you. Let's start this off just by sharing my screen. Today's topic is monetizing your directory. So, I mean, we can get a little off topic with a small group, but today we're just talking about making money. A lot of you guys are using Listing Pro. I know some guys have brilliant directories. Some guys have custom solutions. So let's jump right in. I will share with you that a lot of people are from the Listing Pro theme. We're almost at 1,000 members, which is super awesome. But I also have a different group that is, and I'll show you. It's called the Directory Websites Develop, Managing, and Ideas. If you're already in the Listing Pro theme, you'll see a bunch of announcements that you can kind of join. It is a private group, but this is everything directory. So when we kind of get off topic for like advertising, and you don't have to have a Listing Pro directory, right? Advertising for a directory is advertising for a directory. So I'm trying to get everybody to migrate to this new group where we can just, we can talk about everything. And of course, that's kind of what we got going on. But to start this off, I'm going to share a little bit of my experience. I know a lot of you guys already know me, so I won't bore you with the details, but I've created over 70 directory designs. So, you know, when it comes to talking about directories, I know a lot about them. You know, I think that I'm hoping I might be that guy for directories, but, you know, without being that guy, I built a lot of them and I have a lot of experience, and not all of them are my ideas. You know, people come to me with ideas and we build those out. People have questions. Welcome, Damon. That has just expanded my knowledge. So it's people like you guys who have really expanded not only the groups that you just seen, but also, you know, the acknowledgement within ourselves. The directory talk groups were definitely built so we could all get an understanding of not just my perspective, but everybody's perspective. Right. I was learning after listening to Juan's conversation, I think a couple meetings ago, everybody has some great ideas, and that's why we put these together. So thank you guys, everybody, for coming. Let's jump in. I know some of these talks, like last 2 weeks ago's talk, was just Listing Pro question and answers, where I let you guys dictate, you know, kind of what was being said, and we just answered a bunch of questions. Today's going to roll just a little bit different. I do have a couple topics that I want to touch up on. I'll pause after each topic if anybody wants to toss something in there. Again, either raise the hand or just interrupt me, or post something in chat. I'm really flexible with how we do this. And with that being said, I'm going to jump right in. I have a list here just on ways to monetize a directory in general, and not everything is in your face. You know, sometimes people don't think about these type of things, and sometimes you do. Sometimes, you know, these are theme options, you know. So let's jump in. Advertisements. So advertisements around your website is the first topic, right? Advertisements around the website. We're talking sidebar ads, top of listings. You know, for those of you guys using Listing Pro. Matter of fact, let me share my screen again. I'll pull up some advertising options that they provide. Perfect. I already have a site that this is obviously the Listing Pro Medical, but it's got the same back end. So this one I'm going to be sharing today. And keep in mind your theme options for advertisement, they actually have some spots, right? Whether it's under listings and then Google AdSense. Now, they call it Google AdSense, but you know, this is your advertising area for whatever you want to put, whether it's visual, whether it's a banner with media, whether it's text, and then this would be on your archive page at the top of, you know, all your listings on your search pages. So they already come, themes usually come with spots like that, but some themes don't, right? Brilliant Directories, I'm not sure how they handle theirs. Maybe they do have some advertising spots. Some people who don't have advertising spots, I either use a plugin or I break into the code. In my example, because Kim's here, she'll tell you I'm anti-plugin, right? No ad sanity or ad rotate for me. I always just want to break into the theme code, but not all of us are developers, right? So on a blog page, you used to be able to go into Appearance Editor go into your single PHP place and just put the code actually where you wanted it. So it was a good enticement for you to kind of add codes wherever you want. What about the homepage? Well, we all know the homepage is easy, right? And if you just want to edit with Elementor or edit with whatever builder you're using and drop in an advertisement, you can do that. Let's go a little bit deeper into advertisement. And again, they called it Google Ads, but you didn't necessarily need a Google ad. And I think in my video on YouTube from a year ago, I spoke a little downly on, I don't know if that's correct terminology, but on Google AdSense. And I want to take that back. So I do prefer paid marketing ads. Give you an example. If you've ever, some of you guys own development companies, I get $50 for people signing up to my affiliate for hosting. I mean, I don't use it a lot because I don't want to seem cheesy, but on my website, Overnight Coder, yeah, I've got a link there. And if you sign up to that hosting, I get paid $50. That's a lot more money. And the reason I didn't like Google AdSense was because Google AdSense might pay you 30 cents a click, or, in some niches, it might pay you $1 a click. And for somebody to leave my site for 30 cents or 20 cents just wasn't worth it for me. And I mentioned that in the monetizing video on YouTube. I do want to take that back in a statement of somebody posted that they were from some country that, 30 cents adds up. For me, again, especially, I'll give you an example. If I had a product shop and I'm selling products, there's no way you're going to leave my business for 30 cents. I want you to buy a product. You're here to buy a product. 30 cents wasn't worth it. But what if you're not getting that commission that you expect on your directory? I have a directory out there that my client isn't making any money on the directory, whether it's they're getting traffic, but they're just not getting any sales. Nobody's adding their business. And in that sense, when you have a bunch of traffic, is it okay to put Google AdSense on your site? And I think at that point, if you're just trying to monetize, you can. I mean, you can. I can't stop you. And in some cases, most of you guys have heard my story, but in 2016, I made a lot of money. And we're talking over $40,000, $50,000 in 1 month with Google AdSense. Of course, I was media buying, and I won't get into the whole solution on how my site got banned the very next month. But the fact of the matter is, I have made a lot of money with Google AdSense. Would I prefer that over a paid ad, right? I run a kiteboarding directory. If I can get one of these sponsors to pay me $500 for the month, and I can put one of their banner ads on my site, I'd much rather have that. And it's not about the $500, but it's about giving my client something that they can relate to, right? We know Google Ads sometimes, a lot of times if you're niche and you have keywords, it's going to show something relating, but you don't control that. And I'd rather be in control of not only helping out my sponsorship people, but not directing them to something silly. Like I just looked at a bunch of pianos for my kids. Now every website I go to, doesn't matter what it is, I got a Google piano ad. It doesn't, I'm on a kiteboarding site and it's showing me a piano ad, which is just, and I know you can turn those on and off and filter your ads, but it's not relevant. So what are some relevant ads? Excuse me. Some relevant ads are, you can actually find affiliates for anything. So I know last time we talked about Bahamas, I can find Bahamas affiliates, go to Google and Bahamas affiliates. One thing we said was cheap flights. You can come here and just find anything with an affiliate program, the branches. Affiliax is a good program. I'm not sure how much they really have in Best Bahamas, but you can always find partnerships and things out there that are third party that could benefit your users. A travel site, right? You can do cheap flights, you can do car rentals, you can do, and those you don't have to get in touch with the business owner. There are places like, I'm going to go to this one, Affiliax, where you can sign up, grab the ad that you want. If you see something in there, of course, these are not related to the Bahamas, but find one that is, find one that's going to help your users. So it's not as spammy, right? It's not that piano ad in the sidebar. Now you're offering flights to your vacation destination spot. In my case, on a directory website, where, hey, yes, you can fly in and you can take these trips. So that kind of touches base a little bit just on the advertisement. Google, you can get paid ads, you can get sponsorship ads, and then of course you can add those anywhere on your website. So I'll pause there if anybody has some interjections before I skip to the next bit. Let me jump to the chat too. Stop share. So anything there? Anybody want to cover anything about or have any questions about? Welcome to the group, guys. Any questions about advertising? Just where you can do it, how you can do it. All right, perfect. So the next thing is, obviously most of us have the directory sites. Most of us will be making money. This is the in your face about subscription plans, right? Subscription plans is what you normally want people to, that's why we build directories. Not everybody. Some of you guys have some niches out there where you're just doing free. In a case of this, let me see if I have mine up. To do a subscription plan, you got to know your niche, right? And I talked about this a little bit before, but know what they can pay. Do a little bit of research, because not everybody, and these are, so let's jump into it, right? So not everybody can pay the same amount. I'll tell you, for a kiteboarding niche, and I mentioned this in one of my videos, kiteboarding, you spend $300 to $500 for 1 3-hour lesson. In most of my experience teaching kiteboarding, people take 2, 3, 4, 6 sets of lessons. And if you think about the money added there, of course, it's not, excuse my language, it's not a poor man's sport, right? $300 to $500 just for a lesson. And you're going to take multiple lessons. Your gear that starts off is $2,500. When I first started this directory on Listing Pro back in the day, my pricing plan, I wanted to start off at $499 or $49 a month. And I thought that was reasonable, and it is reasonable, $50 a month, but you get one lead for $300 to $500, and the person keeps coming back as a business. That's feasible. I didn't do that for the direct means of, I talked to a couple shop owners, and they said, well, what about Netflix? Netflix could charge you a lot, but they make a lot more money off of charging that $9.99, or in my case, $15, and you forget about it, right? You don't even, you forget it's even there. And as a business, it's in your bills somewhere. So as a beginning site, I dropped down my prices to accommodate a beginning site. Once I have the traffic that I need, I can charge whatever I want. I'll jump up to that $49.99 a month when I have that traffic. And I got some good traffic, but I'm not at where shops and schools aren't noticing me yet. They know that I'm here, I'm getting the traffic, but I'm not that, I'm not $49.99. Right now, I'm about $825 monthly. Yes, you do pay yearly. It's $99.99 or $99 even. But in that case, know your niche, because one of the things that we talked about was, if you're doing a local directory and you have everything from your guy's barbershop, and guys barbers, well, it used to be like $9, $10 you could get a haircut. Now it might be a little bit more. I shave my own head, but maybe $20. Those guys aren't going to pay you $99 a month. But then you do have places like maybe real estate, is one of your categories, where those guys should pay you $99. All they need is one home sale, and they paid all year or a decade of your subscription plans. But how do you integrate that in? You can't say, hey, and some people can. If you've got a custom design, you can say, hey, real estate agents, we're looking for this amount, depending on category. But you need something that fits your whole niche. And if you're a new site, this is the big one. If you're a new site, you got to have relevance there, right? If you just launched last week and you're trying to charge $49.99, I'm just using numbers, of $20 a month, but I got nothing to see. Keep in mind, some people can look this up. Kim's really good at Alexa. She got a really high Alexa ranking that we just seen. Super awesome. If somebody were to look her site up, yeah, I'd pay for that. But if I were to look your site up and I see that your domain strength is 2 months old, in most cases, I got to see the benefit of my business being on there. So choose your pricing wisely for subscription plans. And yeah, definitely compare it down to the niche. Can the low guy still pay? Can the high guy still pay? Can it still be beneficial? Now, keep in mind, I always do the free plan too. I know this is about advertising and how we can monetize a directory, but even a free listing, I'm monetizing. I'm collecting emails for later, right? And we'll talk about the email system later as well. I'm always thinking about, like, I don't care if you sign up for free. That's cool. I get free content. I get your email. and I'm going to upsell you. Believe it or not, in 2 months time from you signing up, I'm going to upsell you. So yeah, I'll pause there, guys. Anything on, if some of you guys have subscription plans, what are you guys charging? If anybody wants to chime in here.
Well, I'm setting up a coaching directory where it's going to be geared towards the end user and coaching professionals nationwide. And there's a site called Noomly. I think it's Noomli, and they're charging these coaches $400 a year to do to get on a directory. And the list is huge. I mean, almost everybody that's on there with an interview and certain features is obviously paying the $397 a year. They don't do monthly. I don't believe in monthlies because every time they get a bill every month, it's one more chance for them to cancel. So a yearly, I mean, if you're providing value, you want to charge $97 a year or $197 or $397. So I'm thinking of charging $197 and building up, with ambassadors and giving them free listings. And but it's each, these coaches, they make they get a new lead or a new client, they're $100, $200, $300 an hour. So there's a big industry behind that also.
That's a high paying niche, so you can charge those prices, right?
Yeah. Unlike attorneys, I mean, you want to do an attorney website. I haven't had much luck with attorneys because number A, they want to know who you are. B, they want to, they just want to, I think they're penny pinchers, but they spend money in all the wrong places too. Not the wrong places, but Google AdWords and stuff like that. But it's a tough niche. Coaching, on the other hand, a lot of these coaches, they could use an extra client here and there. So we'll see how it goes. I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, one of the biggest paying ones that I've seen is Wedding Wire and The Knot, right? Those guys are charging like 14. Matter of fact, Brilliant Directories did the same thing, right? They said $1,200, one-time fee or monthly, and that was a directory platform as well. But Wedding Wire is a big one. They're charging outrageous amounts, but they're honestly, and I don't know if they're worth it, but their name is that big. Where you are getting leads. I had a guy sign up, had 36 reviews in his first 2 months, meaning he's getting the traffic that he needs. So again, I think it inquires, how much is your site worth and what can you charge? So those two kind of go hand in hand. Steven from the comments was asking, where, let me see, it's an alternative. Please tell me which place we can add the ad in the website. So Steven, I am going to share, I know it's a little bit different, it's because it's the Medical Pro, but I'm going to share my screen just so you can see. Here's Listing Pro, there's many, again, this is the medical, so it's going to look just a little bit different, but the theme options are the exact same. There's many places you can add advertisements, right? So you can add them anywhere with Elementor or WP Bakery, whatever you're using. Anywhere with that, you can add them. Let's just open up an article, which, okay, perfect. Doesn't look great. Any article, you can add them at the top. You can add them in a sidebar. Sidebars are usually widgets. So it would be appearance widgets to add your content to sidebars. Oh, this is the new block editor. I hate it. Here would be like the default sidebar area. I'd rip this stuff out, place an ad in there. So every sidebar, you're going to see a spot. Listing Pro also, if you didn't hear in the beginning of the talk, under listing, sorry, let's do that again. Listing and then Google AdSense. You don't need Google AdSense to add a banner. And this controls it on the detail listing page, where every listing has its own details, as well as on the archive page. Now, if you're not sure where these are, a lot of times I just like to write the word test or put an image in there by clicking the add media, add an image, and just test it out. I would save these and just see exactly where they show up before I go full on with banners. But again, that's up to you. If you're cool with plugins, You can roll with Ad Sanity, Ad Rotate. There's a bunch of other WordPress plugins that you could get that automatically insert ads. I do like one that back in the day was you can add an ad after the first paragraph of text, allowing you to kind of insert or inject that ad after your first paragraph, not just always at the top. And then, of course, you've got your custom coded options, which you could go into any development template and add a physical ad or rotating widget or, a template for Ad Sanity code that would rotate your ads out there as well. Just to cover a little bit more on advertising, tennis. I don't have it, so let's just go to my Facebook page. I'll just show you some advertising options. Love how Facebook puts the stuff I don't want to see during meetings. The advertising options here that I'm sure you've already seen. This is a website where we did a whole different advertising page, and we said, hey, look, Listing Pro has these options on the right. If you already have a listing, bam, log in, click on ad campaigns from your dashboard, let them know what they can do. You have spotlight ads. So Listing Pro, you've seen the, ads down here. You set your spotlight ads up in the dashboard. They have different options where they can be at top of search. They can be featured on the homepage or wherever you decide to drop that in, as well as sidebar listings. And that's already Listing Pro, which is what you're using. So I actually created an advertising page that I know a lot of you guys have already seen. Everything on the right was already Listing Pro. If you didn't have a business, you could sign up right here. I created the advertising page because I needed to show guys, look, there was extra advertising, right? If you get lost in a development or a back end, sometimes these guys don't see it. So I am going to jump back there. Don't worry, this site is not completed. I know the logos have been all messed up, but if you were to click on ad campaigns, this is where the Listing Pro stuff comes in, where they can add new ads if you've enabled it. Of course, make sure you remove the phone number. So this is where the ad settings come in, just for additional money, right? Now, also with that, we created a different section that is exactly what I was telling you, but allowing those guys to actually pay for those. And the left side is everything that was custom for this client, where they could advertise a business at the bottom. You always see that logo at the bottom of the homepage. This guy wants a lot, for non-QM mortgage companies. His prices were a lot higher than I had normally seen, but it is what it is. So if you wanted to advertise a logo, he was asking for $6,000 at the bottom of his website. I did have a client that did $599, and I just know her experience. Her name is Terry. She did the tennis site, and I think she had 2 signups almost instantly for $600. So $1,200 definitely paid for a lot of her, design all in general. Yeah, you can banner ads again, place them anywhere in sidebars, and then top. This was just using the ad placement that you had just seen with Listing Pro. This was just the top banner spot. These were widget spots, super easy. But yeah, hopefully that answered a little bit of the questions there. You can put them anywhere you want, really. Attorneys have to follow is specific to each state. Are there, Sarah? So you tell me, because attorneys have a lot of strict requirements on advertising. If I have an attorney or a lawyer-based website, can you really tell me where I can advertise on my website? I mean, I'm running a directory. I'm allowing you to add your businesses for free or for a paid amount. I mean, the ethics is probably right. Like, you probably don't want to, ethically spam them with that piano ad we had first talked about when we got in here. But are there laws for you to tell me I can't advertise on an attorney website? I can't physically. I can't find that. Like, if I want to do it, it's my website. I'll do what I want. So correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not an attorney. I'm not a lawyer. Now, if you're talking about how they advertise, then yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what the comment was in relation to, because he was talking about how he's having trouble getting attorneys to buy into his directory and certain. So I am an attorney, and certain, it varies by state, but there are ethics and legal requirements as to what has to be included in an advertisement, how you have to, how you're able to advertise. And so you just need to make sure that your directory website, if you're targeting attorneys, needs to have the capabilities for them to be able to do what they need to do to comply with the requirements.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Thank you for clearing that up. In a case where some of you guys are using Listing Pro, let's be honest, the spotlight ads, the top of the search listing ads, and the sidebar listing ads, that's just advertising your directory. So it's kind of like going to Google and let me share my screen again. It's kind of like going to Google and just typing in attorneys. Google decides to display, hold on, attorneys. Let's do near me. Google decides to display just the general business, right? And of course, there's nothing wrong with this form or fashion, just the name, you know, their obvious category, opening hours, and things like that. Listing Pro, the advertisement section that we're talking about here, does do that. You know, it's just advertising, not creating up their own ad. It's just recognizing the business at the top of the search. Or putting that business in the sidebar. So I think that probably is compliant. But again, with your niche, you'll definitely want to check because that's definitely news to me.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. So awesome. I like the input there. Thanks a bunch, Sarah. Let me just check the chats. So if they were to add, what about if they were to add a sidebar ad, right? And the sidebar ad, they would provide an infographic and a link to whatever they want it to go with, which is how you normally take in advertisements. It's a link and the image. I think that would be, based on them to comply. Otherwise, their business is going to look really, really funny. And then as a site owner, you might want to make sure it complies as well, right? So take it for instance, I have a kiteboarding site and I have an advertisement section where you can sign up for advertisements. But what happens if somebody puts Viagra on there for $25, or signs up, they pay the $199 a month? It doesn't comply with my website. And at that point, and I know I'm just being far-fetched, but it's easy to visualize, people will try you with funny ads. And at that point, it's at my discretion to be like, look, man, here's a refund. This isn't what I allow. And I think a lot of people, when I'm working with professional or the business type-minded people, a lot of people are doing that. They're vetting even your listings. You should be vetting your listings that are coming in. If it doesn't fit your niche, don't approve it. Is it worth it for you? Any other questions, comments on that? We got a lawyer in the group. I got to watch my terminology, guys. I'm always giving away like advice, and I'm like, look, I'm not a lawyer, but I would do it. I love it. So feel free to chime in if I'm wrong about something. It's super awesome. All right. So next topic, we talked about subscription plans. Oh, an easy way to make money. Scrape listings, right? Some of you guys are like pro scrape listings. Some of you guys are anti-scrape listings. I got a girl in here right now that just scraped 20,000 listings. I think it's a great idea. At first I was like, well, is Google going to recognize that? And I know we're talking about monetization, which will come up here in a minute. But Google does recognize it, even if it's that scrape content. I've watched sites that haven't even been launched generate mega traffic. Now, where can you monetize that? It's a scrape listing. So I'll give you an idea. I'm not sharing. Let me share again. I like to jump in and out of sharing. So let's refresh this page because obviously I did something wrong. So here we have just a base of, oh, I'm on the wrong site. No wonder. Staging site doesn't help. A base site of I was really anti-scraping listings. I wanted to add them all manually, only because I wanted to customize my site the way I wanted it. And then I did a couple client sites that did have scrape listings. And again, they were top of the searches. All those were giving traffic. So when I add a site for free, I only add the basic information. Here you can see all the free sites below, right? I scraped 6,000 listings. I got them in here, which is generating a lot of traffic, but I don't offer much compared to like a basic listing, which is this best pro kiteboarding in the middle, or a premium listing where you pay a lot of money and you're shown at the top in these nice cards. You're also shown, just like Listing Pro, you're shown on the homepage, premium features. These will rotate in and out. And I have a lot of success with that. Now, back to the monetization part. How does that help, right? So first off, some of these companies are finding themselves. I noticed that a couple of them are getting the information they need. But the biggest one for me was the lead form. I did include the lead form for everybody. I don't care what plan it was on. If it was a scrape listing, I'm the admin of the site. I'm the owner of the listing until they decide to claim it. I'm getting lead forms for a lot of these free companies. The cool thing about the monetization part is I can take that lead form, reach out to F1 Portugal, and let them know that, look, man, I got a lead for you on my website. Here's the link to your listing. It looks pretty bland, but why don't you get your own leads, right? Sign up. And maybe they sign up for free, still not a huge benefit. I get the email, they claim the listing. But what if they just ignore it, you know, or you could sell the lead. I got a guy, and again, check your legal advice first, because I do have a guy with an attorney, or it's a lawyer-based website, and he scraped, I want to say 72,000 listings, and he doesn't care if you sign up or not. He's taking every lead form, selling it back to that company for $30, $40 a pop, and if you don't want it, he'll sell it to all your competitors in the area. Again, I'm not saying this is the right thing, you know, ethically. That could get some bad vibes, but hey, if you don't want to sign up and he has a free plan, by all means, he wants some money for that, and he might sell that lead to 3 or 4 different companies. Best case scenario, right? Not talking about what's legal and what's not. Best case scenario, you reach out to the school, they want to sign up, they're interested in paying that $8 a month or a yearly fee, and you got a new client. You know, worst case scenario, they never respond to you, they never get the lead. Maybe you sell it. You know, maybe you don't even sell it. Maybe you contact everybody else in the neighborhood and you give them that lead. Be like, hey, look, I got this lead. This guy wants lessons. He did contact Kite School, but it looks like they're not even open. Did you guys maybe want to entice this? And by the way, sign up to my website where you can get your own leads, right? But again, use that at your discretion. I'm not saying, I did have some people say that, look, you know, that's not right for my business, especially if you're doing like a small local Bahamas-based business where you want to be known in the business. You don't want to be known for selling all your competitors' leads, right? If you're really small niche like that, last thing you want to be is a lead generation site where you're pissing all the companies off. There are laws, great info so far. It would be interesting to hear how people are driving traffic to their sites. Yeah, Stephen, let's talk about it. I know that's kind of been monetization, so I'm sure some other people will chime in here, but how do you drive traffic to a website? It's 2021 now, so a lot of people back in the day, it was paid advertising, right? I could get on there and pay for ads on Google AdWords or Google, or some of those traffic sites. But with 2021 now, I'm not, so some of you guys might make big bucks and you can afford that quick blast of advertising. You know, I got 4 kids. I support them. I support a wife. I feed 6 over here. So 2021, because I'm an online guy, there's so many online ways I can promote my business. How did most of you guys find the Listing Pro theme group? You found it on my YouTube, and I only had like 1,200, maybe less than that, subscribers at the time. So YouTube, you can actually post in somebody else's comments. And don't be like, hey, check out my site. Just be like, you know, I found a great opportunity here. If it's in your niche, your Facebook groups, you know, I have 2 of my own Facebook groups, but you better believe I'm in almost every kiteboarding related Facebook group that relates to somewhere I've been, or all the local groups that, when they say, hey, and again, I'm not spamming. It's not, hey, check out my site here. It's there, hey, where can I ride middle of October in Florida? Well, hey, that's perfect. I have plenty of places you can ride, and I'll even send them a link over to one of my favorite, right? This is the 520 Slick. It's super, oh, here's my piano ads. I told you guys, this is all I see now. Wonderful Google AdSense. That was another thing. So do I put Google AdSense on my own site? Of course, it's possible. I just don't have affiliate ads as of yet, and I'm working more on my traffic. So back to traffic, how do you get the traffic? SEO is a big one for me. Right, you don't have to be an SEO. Facebook ads from the group. It's probably going to be my main effort. All right, yeah. If you got money from Facebook ads, do it. You know, there's a lot of setup, and you have to make sure you know what you're doing. Otherwise, you're going to waste a lot of money. But it could be profitable. You know, it could be really profitable. I've had a lot of success in Facebook. I've also had $500 shoved down my throat like it was nothing, and got absolutely no benefit from it. So it's hit or miss with the way you set up your ads. Make sure that you're testing. Don't just throw in $500. Stephen asked, is Yoast a good idea? Yoast follows the SEO. I'm getting a lot of traffic, and I'll explain a little bit. So there's some sites out there, SpyFu, Href, SEMrush. There's also plenty others that will allow you to find keywords for your competition or for your own website. And what I like to do is, I'm not logged in. I do have a premium membership, but what I'm going to do is let's just type in, no, let's do somebody's affiliate site. So WeddingWire, weddingwire.com. And sites like this allow you to see that, you know, what keywords you need to work on, what keywords you can actually, you know, what keywords your competition are doing or your own site is doing, what keywords are doing really well for you. But why I like this is a lot of them will have a keyword research tool that give you the proper keywords. Let me give you the perfect example. Oh, wait, share screen, thank you. I love it. Maybe I should just keep that on. So a lot, I love it, thanks. A lot of people will specify, you know, I just pulled up SpyFu, I typed in WeddingWire, and, you know, I'm pretty good at keywords, but I don't know exactly which keywords are easy to get, which ones have a great click value, and, you know, is it even possible? I'll give you an idea or an example that I'm sure many of you guys from my past meetings have heard, but the word web designer, I'm a web designer. Can I rank for the word web design? Meaning when I go to Google and I type in web design, can I pull up on number one? I'll be honest with you. I think it's far-fetched. Some of you guys will be like, yeah, you might be able to pull up. I can build 100 different websites, integrate them as much as possible. I don't think I'll ever show up for web design on page number one. But what the sites do is they give you keyword ideas that are feasible, right? So I did my keyword research and SpyFu popped out. I gave it a couple keywords and it said, what about web design Orlando? Or especially, what about web design Cocoa Beach? Are those good keywords? You know, I can rank for those. I could show up on page one for website Cocoa Beach, web design Cocoa Beach if I wanted to. It's a longer tail keyword. And then I look at, is it profitable? Like how many, you know, if it was 12 clicks a month, maybe I go after something else, right? I'm not really after 12 clicks if I can go after something with 400 clicks a month. So again, Yoast is a good plugin for WordPress. You know, Yoast will, let me bring it up real quick. Yoast will tell you a bunch of things. I think I have Yoast Premium on this one, which is one of the very few plugins that I actually buy premium. We'll go into one of these green topic ones. You know what? I haven't done it was on the old directory. I haven't really went down and made sure all these were green with new keywords. But I'll jump into one anyway. Let's just see. Finding the right kiteboarding school. What's this? Let's just try this one. I'm going to edit a few so you can see what Yoast does. I don't think all these are filled out, which is why I'm kind of skipping around. Yeah, they're not. Sorry about that. So Yoast will actually go through and tell you what you're missing. So I wasn't well, actually I am, but you might not be an SEO specialist. You don't know what you're missing. And Yoast will come along and I don't know why that doesn't pull up. Give me just a sec, because I do want to show you. All right, so the content is written somewhere else. So we're just going to edit this with Elementor and then go into the Yoast settings. So you can kind of see what you're missing, readability. So we're going to put, this is probably Anne's Beach was probably the keyword, maybe. But again, I haven't filled these all out. Whoops, not logged in. But to give you an idea, it'll have the readability analysis that you can see over here. And some of these things you might not even know, like a passive voice. When I first started, I didn't know what this was. Like, okay, you got to have a passive voice. Click on it, right? If you click on it, it's going to bring up all the general information about how to have a passive voice, what words to kind of use instead. And Yoast is really cool because, again, it'll give you that analysis. So again, maybe I put in the wrong keyword because none of my stuff's showing up here. And again, I have this on the old directory, but internal links. Do you have any internal links? No. So do you need some? Yeah, they recommend you have some internal links. What about outbound links? So at the bottom of each one of my posts, I have, make sure to check out our Facebook. That covers the outbound link. Here are some things I need to work on. Here are some things that I have problems with. And just Yoast did a really good job of reminding me those things that I'm missing to get that 100% or that green mark. Scrolly C, awesome. But to get those reports that I wanted, and yes, I did use Yoast. Kind of helps out a lot. So Yoast drives traffic, Facebook groups drive traffic. I mentioned you can sign up for forums. Forums, again, don't be too spammy. You don't want to fall off the forum. But in 2021, there's so many online options. Stephen, I'm glad you mentioned that, and I'm sure I'm going to let some people chime in here in a sec. But we all know my YouTube drives traffic, right? When I started my YouTube group, it was nothing but the just offering free information. I think that's how most people found the Facebook group. That's how I'm getting. I don't have a web design port. Yeah, that's how you found me. I don't have a web design portfolio page. It's my YouTube group and my Facebook groups, and I'm been building directories for the past two something, a little bit longer than 2 years. So YouTube definitely helps, but you got to start somewhere, right? Oh God, I guess all my popular videos just popped up. Sorry guys, I listen to a lot of music. That was awful. But yeah, so yeah, definitely helps. I'm sure some other people want to chime in about traffic and how they're getting traffic. Sarah, I know you said Facebook ads. Are you good at Facebook ads? Is this something you have a little bit of experience with?
I've used it a little bit for the associations that I'm involved in, but I haven't set it up yet for the Texas Venue Guide website that I'm developing. I'm still kind of waiting on getting all my venues on board.
Nice. Anybody else have any input on any advertising? I have a bunch of advertising. Again, it's the internet. You can find a million places you guys can advertise, whether it's paid, free.
Press releases.
Yeah, one.
Press releases.
What was it? God
Do a
bless.
press release at least 3 times a year.
Oh, press release. Yeah. Okay. If you have access to press releasing, I mean, is that easy for you?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect. I know Shaquille, I don't think he's in here today. He's usually in our other meetings. He holds Bahamas Zoom meetings for business owners, invites them. The last one I went to had, I want to say like 24 or 25 business owners where he just spilled on what his site was about. And, I sat in for that. It was great. The same thing, just like not a press release, but more just a business owner kind of meeting. So super cool. Stephen, the comment in the chat is what is press releasing?
Well, it's a syndication service where you create your initial press release, and depending on the company that you use, they go out and they distribute it to. One I use sends it out to I think it's 250 major news outlets. I've done some for my clients, and I do a lot for myself because I jumped on this opportunity a couple years ago where I can get a press release. It's a prepayment, so I pay a certain amount for press releases, and then I can resell them. But basically, some of them are expensive. Like you're looking at $800, $900 for a press release, but then you can find some for $200, $300 a pop. And what they do is, and they have retargeting. The one I use has retargeting pixels, so it's pretty neat. And then you get a report where all your initial press release, who it was sent to, and how long it'll be there. It's usually there for a couple months, but it's talk about backlinks. It's an amazing way to get your site out there, but you have to make it interesting. Do a search on Google on how to write a press release, and there's a gazillion different topics about it, but it should be short. Under I think it's under 300 words that they say that it should be, and keep it short and sweet. All you want to do is just be able to get exposure, and that's what a press release does. It's a syndication service.
Awesome, thanks for the input. Back in the day. Oh, go ahead.
You're looking at sites like CNN, Yahoo, Microsoft, not Microsoft, but local areas like Channel 10, Channel 6, Channel 7, WPLG. And you could do it either locally or nationwide. You know, typically nationwide is the best bet because who cares? All you're getting is your link, because you're getting a link. They're getting a link, or you know, whoever reads the press release is getting a link back to your site. So that's where the retargeting pixels come into play also. So it's pretty awesome.
Super cool, man. Super cool. I know that if you provide good services, eventually, I mean, some of that stuff just automatically comes. I had, what was that? I forget the name. One of those viral websites. I gotta find it on Facebook because I posted it was like 2 years ago. They came and actually interviewed the company that I was working at for the kiteboarding. And it was just a great opportunity just to be on their website was awesome. You know, so again, you provide that service and you get recognized. Some of that stuff can come for free, but in what Juan's talking about is paying for press releases. Not a bad idea either. There was a time when I used to build apps and stuff for the App Store, and I didn't build like normal apps, right? I built these viral games or all those viral things that you see on your Facebook timeline, and I built them for Instagram influencers who had millions of followers. And what we would do is we would either blast it with their followers or blast it as a paid ad just to get in the top search. Once you're in the top search, you stop spending money and let the income roll in. And we did this a lot. I mean, I built a lot of things. The only bad thing is the apps were only out there, you know, for a few months until it got, you know, it was redundant. Nobody plays that viral game. We're not talking about your big games like Supercell games. We're talking about those quick. You see them all the time on Facebook. You know and that's what we're building. Thanks for the link. Impression release. Oh, nice, awesome stuff there. I'm on the site now. Another thing brought up was actually skip that. That was direct. Any other comments? You know, how are you guys making money with your directory? How far along are your directories? Anybody have a couple directories already launched? Anybody making money? Anybody not making money? If you're not making money, do you have the traffic? Because that comes before you monetize, right? Have the traffic first. Just launched yesterday, so very new. If you're in the US looking for local traffic, the patch might be a good choice for ads. You guys check the chat box. Mary's saying the patch might be a good choice for ads. And then Steven's comment doesn't help, but we love it. Good luck, Steven. You know, one of my big things when I launched is I'm already in my groups, right? I told you I was in the kiteboarding groups. Just because that's my niche. So, you know, I'm in all the local kiteboarding. I'm in the big, you know, kiteboarding Facebook group. And when I joined, a lot of my friends, I think I have like 1,700 friends. I don't know most of them. They're kiteboarding related or I met them once. I spam it out to my friends first. You know, so when I first launch something or pre-launch, I invite all my friends to a Facebook page about it. The Facebook page I start months before I even launch. I post a little bit of article, I post, you know, and I know I'm not getting an engagement. When I'm ready, I invite all my friends to like it, you know, just because I need that initial boost. A Facebook page does help me out because it's free advertisement. I can post something on Facebook on my, you know, Kiteboarding for You Facebook page. Anybody that sees that right now, it's free advertisement. But of course, you have to have those likes and that engagement or the people that follow it to join something. You know, so I feel like right now I can post something about directories and now look, we get 11 or 20 or 30 people to show up. But again, you have to build that structure either during, and you're not too late to start it now, but you could have started weeks ago. So start building those, even though, you know, I don't like posting in my Facebook group. Not the Facebook group that you guys are in, but my business. It's like I'm not seeing a huge benefit from it. I'm seeing a small benefit from it, but I know in the long run, it turns out to be like the Listing Pro theme group. I don't know if you guys were there since it started, but when it started, I had like 50 members, right? And I was the only one responding and making up topics. And now it's grown into 1,000 or 10 members away from 1,000 people. I rarely have to post anything in there. You know, I'd like to, but I got 1,000 members in there. And the group is really active. So it's really helped me a lot to start from the small and just keep, you got to keep pushing. And once you push, you've got it. How much can you expect to make with the new directory? That's going to be on you and some of the things that we talked about now. I do have a couple people, matter of fact, ignore the people. What Wedding Wire is a directory. How much do you think they're making? It's $1,200, $1,400 subscriptions. They're making a fortune. You know, that's an extreme measure. They have a team that they've grown into. I've had people launch, and before they even launch, they have signups. You know, and again, it depends on your traffic and what you're worth and how much you're willing to put in. Anything to do with weddings is money. Yeah, but you know, there's other niches out there. You have to have a good niche, right? If you don't have a good niche, you got nothing. If you got, you know, I've seen some people do yellow pages, and they want to cover all the United States. In my opinion, unless you have some great marketing, that's not a good niche. And forgive me if somebody's trying to do that, but you're not going to beat the yellow pages in Yelp. Like, so unless you have a stronger method of something that you're trying to do, that's just not a good niche. You know, if you niche it down enough and you are that #1 go-to site, you charge whatever you want. You can make whatever you want. Quit your job today, but you do have to have that focus, right? I still build web pages, so that means my directory is not doing as well as I'd like. I spend an hour in the morning. You know, it's actually doing really well. Don't get me wrong, but it's not enough to quit my day job yet. You know, it's not enough to stop having these meetings and just go full focus with my directory. And when it is, I'll be ready. I do get a lot of page use, but it's not paying 8-10 grand a month. No, it's not doing that yet. Any other questions? I've summarized, I think that's everything on the list. Memberships. I've had some sites where they offer memberships. And I know that some of you guys are just doing a directory. Yes, I think those should be free. But for example, can you log in? And I'm not speaking with Listing Pro because I know you need a listing to create events. But what about custom users? Like I just had a site where we created an event backend. Do we let people sign up for free to post events in a small neighborhood? Not exactly. So, you know, we've got some membership plugins out there that block membership and say, hey, for this, you need to pay $5. You know, and I know $5 isn't a lot, but the membership idea comes in. I also had, this is a risky topic, so if your kids are around, plug their ears. Actually, I won't say anything bad. But this was, I thought we were building a massage website. And it's like, yeah, it's massage. This is, you know, all the spas and massage stuff. It turns out it was one of those risque spas, right, where they offer the additional services. And I didn't know that. So like I start building it and sending these images. And in the end, he actually used the same concept. He blocked all the reviews, he blocked the sign up, and you did have to pay a membership fee to review or to see the reviews for that spa place. It turned out to be a hot mess. I didn't sign up for that, but it was a great site. It's still making a lot of money, but he's charging regular members. Yes, you can view the listing, but to go into the listing and actually see some of the content, we blocked it using membership plugins where you might have to pay $29 a month. And he's doing really successful. So we said, oh, selling services. This is a big one. I know Sarah's in the wedding industry. I won't use the wedding example anymore because I have a few wedding clients that I didn't get the idea from them, but I don't want them to think I got the idea from them. So what about concierge services or planning a trip or anything where your niche, you can sell a service? For example, the kiteboarding industry. Can I plan your vacation? Yeah, I can plan your vacation, right? You can tell me where you want to go. $49, I'll send you all the premium listings. I'll actually contact hotels. You know, I might do this. I'll give you a list of these things. You can plan that stuff. With the wedding industry, there's so much that you can do. Venues, DJs, you know, that type of thing. Kiteboarding, our travel industry, I can plan everything you want, depending on the amount you want to pay. If you book in advance, I might even book your car rental. You know, so there are things where you can, and this is just an additional page, right? You're talking about a page that says, hey, plan your wedding, plan your trip, plan your vacation, plan your safari, you know, whatever your case may be. Thanks, I'll take it. Where you can definitely just create an Elementor or a WP Bakery page or whatever builder you're using. Just say, hey, yeah, contact me here. This is what I offer. We can actually do the hard work for you. And that comes into a play with a lot of the directories that I've seen. It's not going to work for everybody's, you know, but again, that's something you could use. Email marketing, I'm not going to touch long on that. Just going to let you know it's there. So yes, if you let somebody subscribe for free, Can you capture and make money on that email later? Yeah, there's upsells. There's if you did that bad and you're just looking at selling your directory because you made no money, you can actually sell your subscriber list for $1 a pop. So not that I would do that, but again, there's just so many ways to make money with somebody's email. And that's my listing items. So I'll take some questions and you guys can kind of chime in. I see Brian here. He hasn't said anything. Keep in mind, some of you guys are on mute, but I know he has some advertising methods. Maybe he wants to speak up. Maybe somebody else does.
I found the unmute button. Hey, Tim.
What's going on, man? Yeah, I think everybody's on mute.
Oh, no, well, I knew I was. I couldn't find it there for a second. I'm new to Zoom. I'm 51 years of age and I'm new to Zoom. No, I'm just listening intently here. It's all fascinating to me. My website is a camping website where we charge $9.95 a year to join. It is new. It's only a couple of months old. And there have been, if you talked about monthly income, Tim, if all of the people who had registered had chosen the $9.95 option, because there is a free option, I would have earned about $8,000 a month in the 2 or 3 months that we've been running. But only about 10% or 15% of them have opted for that. So you can reverse engineer that one down to realize that I've made about $1,000 a month. But the 90% that haven't yet paid, you would like to think they're quite a captive audience. They came for a reason. Nearly all of the traffic worth mentioning has been generated for free because we spent the few $100, maybe $1,000 really, on a bit of Google, mostly Facebook, doing plain advertising. But the best traffic came from engaging in groups on Facebook on the subject of camping. And you engage, some groups let you join as your Facebook page, some don't. But we endeavored to represent ourselves as a website rather than as individuals,
Yeah.
So we'd engage in posts and we'd share. People would say things like, hey, where's a good place to camp in County Kerry, which is a county in Ireland? And we would provide them with a link, a direct link through to the results page on our site, which would have the title, Best Places in Kerry to Camp. And they'd say, hey, that's fantastic, brilliant, thanks for sharing it. Hey, what's the website all about? So it was conversational, engaging techniques we were using, and that's where the best traffic came from.
Nice.
So it's not hacking Google. It's not being super clever with SEO. It's being a part of a community as a website and engaging with the members of that community, So I would think that the 85 or 90% that haven't joined yet, we're kind of on the lookout for some little engaging thing that will just push them over the line, But anyway, that's our strategy. We hope to have about 10,000 paying members within maybe 24 months, and that's for quick maths purpose. At today's money, that's about 100,000 a year before you even touch off all the other possible revenue streams. But attempting to charge the campsites themselves, of which there's only about 200 in Ireland, was going to be a very costly exercise. And it was going to be hard to do and really not worthwhile. So what we decided to do was create the profiles for the campsites. I mean, our profiles on the website have more information than the websites of the campsites themselves,
Oh, yeah.
And which is precisely the reason why people join or at least use our website, because it's a consolidation of the information,
Do you mind if I share your site here? Can I pull up your site so people can see what they're talking about?
Yeah, campervan.ie.
I got it. Just going to pop it open so you guys can see. It's really, really nicely done. You guys can, I'm sure he'll share a link that you guys can chat with him if you guys have any questions. But this is the site here. I found it really, really awesome. Is it? Wait, that's not your homepage, is it?
That is the homepage, yeah.
I could have sworn you had a different design. You've been working on this.
Well, you might have been logged in, Tim, were you?
Am I logged in now?
I've redone it a few times, to be fair. So you could have seen different things over the time, yeah.
But super awesome. And I know we touched over the same type of thing that he was saying, build your community or jump into a community. You know, that was the same thing with the kiteboarding community. I didn't have to, just like Brian mentioned, I didn't have to spam it out. Like, I wasn't like starting my own post and saying, hey, this is kiteboarding for you, join now. It was more giving them information when they had asked questions. And again, that's just what he, he was focused on as well, but did really well with the site. I've had the opportunity to take a look, jump in. This thing wants me to log in. Had some opportunities to take a look, and I really enjoy his design as well. This is one of the custom designs. Go ahead.
I'll have to kill that pop-up. But it's gonna make you log. It'll make you log in eventually.
Yeah, log in today. That's all right. I really enjoy it. So super awesome work there, man. And he's actually starting. I'll bring it up if he doesn't mind. He's actually starting a kind of. It's. I don't want to speak for him. It's a platform where you can build your own directory and then kind of choose your options. And I'm sure he's got a much more elaborate way of speaking about it. But yes, big guy from our community. I appreciate him joining, and he's got a lot of big things coming for directory owners or people that want to take it to the next level as well. So thank you for being here.
Well, actually, Tim, thanks for mentioning it. I won't hijack your chat, but if anyone's listening in and they want to create an account there just to have a look, feel free. Just behave like you're an Irish camper, pretend you're an Irish camper if you're going to post anything or create anything. And if I see anything that you may have done in error or anything like that, I'll just delete it for you. So you can all play with it and see what you think of it, you know?
Awesome. That link's in chat for you guys too. You guys can take a look, kind of see what's going on. But yeah, any other questions? I'll stick around for as long as you guys want, answering questions or comments, anything there. If not, we'll call it an early Sunday. Everybody goes back to sleep. I'm cool with that. My kids will not allow that, huh? All right, I'm just going to touch over these notes one more time, make sure I didn't miss anything. Talk about banner ads, subscriptions, affiliates, listing upsells. I think that might be it from my end, guys. I have an old school video posted a year ago about monetizing. I tried to cover everything in that video as well. I'm always looking for new outside the box ideas. So if you guys have anything, feel free to post them to our groups. That's what we're all here for. Turned out to be a great turnout. I appreciate all the information that we got from everybody. It's just expanding the group as a whole. I think that's it. All right, final time for questions. Otherwise, you can find this chat. It's going to be on the Overnight Coder channel on YouTube. Something really cool about these Zoom talks is I know I shared my screen a little bit, but I found myself driving to the beach yesterday listening to my own chat. Like it didn't really have a lot of visuals in it, so it was just really cool to kind of go over. So you can kind of see that. How long does it take to take a setup from start to finish as a beginner? Bucky, if you're talking about Listing Pro, I got some funny news for you, man. I am going to show you something awesome. I don't do this for client websites, right? But I have a video. I'm going to show you where it's at. If you're not in this group already, so directory websites group. This is the group here. Screenshot it. Do what you got to do. Matter of fact, I'll post the link. Make sure you get in there. I'll post this to chat. Inside this group, there is a video. Let me just see something. Video right here. I created this Listing Pro site with Listing Pro in an hour and 40 minutes and went over almost everything from Loco Translate, changing the address, changing everything in it in an hour and 40 minutes. Now, granted, I wouldn't do this for a client, and you can spend a week after that making custom pages, but this video takes you from start to finish doing that. The reason I created this video and why I went so fast was I get a lot of people saying, oh, it's taking me months. And it should. We've got, I know Sarah's site, she's spent a lot of time on that. She's done a lot of custom stuff, and it should take you a while. But if you're just looking to launch, there's no reason why you can't launch. I'm not saying an hour and 40 minutes, but it shouldn't take you months if you're not doing all the extra pages, right? So can you launch in, by the end of this week? Yes, you can. Of course, you can spend a lot more time and pre-plan it, but hour and 40 minutes, I had a whole Listing Pro directory. Again, I wouldn't launch my own directory in an hour and 40 minutes, but could I launch, this Wednesday? Could I put a little bit more customability? It's possible with a theme. With a custom design like Brian's, Bryony, sorry, I always did that wrong. Probably not. He's put a lot of work into that. Custom design with Croco plots, probably not. If you're building something out, in an hour and 40 minutes like this, God bless you. You need to be a web developer. Any other questions? Oh, chat. Oh, let me post that link for you too. How much can you expect? Oh, I'm scroll down. Totally stoked on getting started. Yeah, if you need any help, there's freelancers in our group, or check out that video. Again, I showed you how to find it. That'll give you a great list. If you're using Listing Pro, a great way to just like make sure you have everything and then start adding more from there, right? I learned back in school that it's better to start, even if you only have a shop with 3 products, go live. As long as it's a finished product, you can sell 3 products. What happens is you start getting all these extra ideas, like this directory, the kiteboarding directory. I wanted to do a shop. I wanted to do an app. I wanted to do the tricks, and you could like mark off what you could already do. I wanted the news section. I wanted a directory. I wanted writing. I never launched that, right? Because it was too much. It was just building out too much. Now I launched the directory, and I get the traffic, so that helps out a lot. And I can come back and build the rest. Sound like someone's farting, not gonna lie. Any final questions? Everybody thumbs up. Everybody's good. Sorry, I think it might have been one of my kids. Huh? All right, guys. I appreciate you guys coming. It's been great. In the chat, you guys let me know, or in the Facebook groups, let me know what topics you want to cover next. I've got a few of them coming out. I know Sam wants to be a part of, one of the Listing Pro guys wants to be a part of these. I'm not sure if he's going to show up. So it'd be really nice to have him in here on a Listing Pro topic. I think you guys could bombard him with questions.
Who is that, Tim?
Sam, I talked to Sam last week. Sam Rizzio, the number 2 guy on Listing Pro.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to jump in and tell us about all the ideas. All the ideas. Sorry, here's some background. Is that you, Brian? Are you on a farm?
Me?
It sounds like somebody's got a farm background.
No, it's not me.
Oh man, maybe this is my mic.
I'm hearing something as well, but it's not me.
He wants to join in and kind of do some additional stuff there. It's Juan's mic. Juan's mic is going to go down. Juan, take it, man. I'll see you next week.
Okay, man. Thank you.
Oh, it's definitely your mic. I don't know what happened. Talk to you soon. Anybody else before we take off? Well, thanks for coming, guys. It's been great.
Thanks a million, Tim. See you next time.
As always.
Cheers, man.
Cool. Thanks, guys.